Well, for one thing, the circuit is balanced to start with, meaning that it takes a two-phased balanced XLR type of a signal source and passes those two signal phases all the way through. The attenuator and the vacuum tube, is all two signal phases. It's a twin triode. One triode takes one phase, the other triode takes the other phase, and it goes through the output buffers. There is one for each phase, and and as I had mentioned just priorly, that output balanced output drives this headphone input transformer also to get the advantage of the balanced source. But the properties of this input stage, this vacuum tube amplifier, which is really a differential amplifier, has the property that if you feed it an unbalanced input, the two output phases remain balanced and equal, which is a very important property of such an input amplifier to have, and it has that. And as Paul mentioned, the switchable setup of this thing allows a home theater bypass to where you can arrange one of the inputs to simply have unity gain. So if you connect, your home theater signal input to that input, and you switch the thing to that input, it's gain wise, set to be just unity.
And what's some of the advantages of balanced?
Well, it's.
Does it help with lowering distortion throughout the?
Well, yeah. Generally speaking, the balanced circuit, even coming to a differential amplifier like this input tube circuit has the property that it cancels out the even harmonic content of the amplifying stage, so you end up with more odds, dominant kind of distortion, and our power amplifier is that way too. That could be argued that, well, gee, I thought that odd harmonics are bad, they're dissonant. Well, if you have a whole lot of higher order ones, that is so, but the good circuits don't have the higher order odds. And so it just simply reduces distortion and improves symmetry. One of the interesting things about the amplifier circuit that I've got some scope photos of is that you start out with maybe a couple watt signal, and it's a beautiful sine wave, and you start reducing the power supply, the AC feed with a variac. You reduce the AC voltage, and pretty soon this wonderful sine wave is turned into one that's got some crossover distortion. But it's perfectly symmetrical, meaning that the plus and the minus half cycles look the same, which means there's no even harmonics, it's all odds, because symmetry always means no evens. In a waveform, plus and minus waveform shapes look the same. You keep reducing the variac voltage and the thing starts to go into a squiggly, tons of distortion, but the plus and the minus half cycles still look the same. And you keep going down and the thing changes to maybe a blunted sine wave, but it's still symmetrical. And then finally you keep reducing and it dies, but it stays symmetrical through this tremendous power supply voltage change. And that's just a commentary on the symmetry of the circuit.